Jimmy Carter died, apparently.
Jimmy Carter died. Oh my god, Tim Heidecker's going to have to post an update on Twitter. Jimmy Carter status update.
Yeah, we need first on Top Rope Deep Dive.
Yeah, we've broken the story. A Top Rope Deep Dive exclusive.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, solemn silence there for Jimmy Carter. Reverent grief.
I mean, he's like.
Yeah, Jack. For next year, we'll just think of more. We'll just think of more popular musicians we don't like that we can slag off. Just so
we should definitely
YouTube
do
numbers.
Yeah, and people we can do such and such versus such and such matchups to try and repeat. This is fun, actually. I thought I'd hate doing this shameless stuff, but if you do it as a bit, then it's actually really good fun. What were you going to say, Miris, a second ago?
No,
Sorry.
I was just going to say how Jimmy Carter kind of made himself, he was made sort of, nice old president.
Yeah. I think it's just because he's the least evil president of living.
Well, and also people forgot about a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just when you got guys like Obama in a...
I mean, then again, when they rehabilitate George Bush, you can rehabilitate anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember they were trying to do the same thing with George W. Bush. Oh, this sweet little guy. It's I fucking remember how he stole the election and fucking went to war in Iraq, because I'm old.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, and I was young at the time. So I was,
You're still young, Jack.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that's true.
Then again, you're 30 now as well, so there's no escape.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
not as old as Jimmy Carter, not as dead as Jimmy Carter.
Years old. I mean, he's a centenarian.
Did he actually get to 100? Shit.
Yeah. Let me see.
They called him the rock.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They called him the rock and. They called him the rock and roll president, I think, or was that Bill Clinton? One of them. Yeah, I think so. But he was mates with loads of rock stars, Jimmy Carter. I wonder if Bob Dylan will do a tweet about it.
Yeah, I have a Jimmy Carter wrestling story. Fantastic.
Oh, really?
That's such a good way to tell. Yeah, Jimmy Carter's favourite wrestler was a wrestler called Mr. Wrestling Number 2. And the official reason Mr. Wrestling Number 2 never went to the White House to see Jimmy Carter was because he was a masked wrestler and refused to take his mask off.
Could have been a terrorist.
The real reason was Mr. Wrestling 2 had a conviction for statutory rape.
Oh, good fun, great. A nice cheery anecdote to remember Jimmy Carter by there.
His favourite wrestler has conviction for statutory rape. Yeah, not such a good guy now, is he, Jimmy Carter? Unlike me, my favourite wrestler being Chris Benoit.
Is he actually your favourite?
He was when I was young. He genuinely was.
I want to be like that guy.
Yeah, I want to be just really intense and angry.
Just bashing your head against the wall to try and make your brain like his.
Yeah. Whereas now my current favourite wrestler is Kevin Nash, because he loves smoking weed and doing as little work as possible to get as much money as possible.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I respect that. That's very cool. Let's see if we got any good quotes from Bob Dylan about Jimmy Carter, if we can remember him by. No, those are all videos. I want to see it written down somewhere. Yeah, there is a film called Jimmy Carter, Rock and Roll President. So,
yeah, Jack, you know the story about Bob Dylan and his favourite wrestler, Gorgeous George?
Oh yeah,
where, when he was young, you saw Gorgeous George performing. Gorgeous George, just looked at Bob Dylan and said, "You're making it work, kids." And Bob Dylan was like, "And that's all the inspiration I needed to do my next the albums."
Yeah, exactly. It's that set him on the path to being the Nobel Prize laureate.
Yeah, I've not seen the Timothy Chalamet film yet, but I really hope they have that scene in the film.
Yeah, no, that would be good actually. Yeah, there's a bit where he sees Gorgeous George.
Interjection here. Since the PPV is ending soon, and I drank 3 cans of Red Bull and 2 liters of Coke tonight, for reasons beyond my understanding. I don't want to go to sleep at this point. I'm going to, after the pay-per-view is over, I'm probably going to switch to, where is my Steam account? Jack, for your knowledge, I collect video games like you collect bootlegs, basically.
Okay.
Trans-Siberian Railway Simulator, so 1970s, 80s Soviet Union, we're going to play a train conductor together. We can still chat, that's the idea, like something to play in the background.
That sounds good. After this pay-per-view, I'll to the shop and get some more beer, and then come back and I can stay up a bit.
Yeah.
I will see about joining you guys.
You can drop out, have a spliff, come back. You're always welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So I did find a quote from Bob Dylan about Jimmy Carter. He's a kindred spirit to me of a rare kind. The kind of man you don't meet every day, and you're lucky to meet if you ever do. Yeah. You liked him. So yeah, Real Politik Christmas special out today.
20s,
Sorry.
In my early 20s, there was a. Do you remember there was a TV series called Sarah Connor Chronicles, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles?
I know of it. I've never seen it, but I have heard of it.
It's really interesting. That's such a great TV at its time. It's basically like a bit more cerebral sort of Terminator. Anyway. The first time I heard about Jimmy Carter, because he's not really my generation stuff, and I'm Turkish, so why the fuck did I know every American president? There was a battleship in that series called USS Jimmy Carter. So what the fuck is Jimmy Carter? Oh, it's a fucking president. Interesting.
First time I heard of Jimmy Carter was in The Simpsons, where they unveil a statue of Jimmy Carter, and they go, "Boo! He's history's greatest monster."
I guess he was maybe kind of a Corbyn figure at that point in America, and just in that they'd be like, "Oh, that's we can't. You don't want to have bloody Jimmy Carter again. That's why we've got to do this right-wing Clinton bullshit." Just seen a great tweet from Will Sloan about Jimmy Carter, friend of the show, not this show, my show. Will Sloan
over to us as well. He seems to be a delightful person. Isn't he the Canadian film guy?
Yeah, he is indeed.
Yeah, I actually listened to your episode on his thing, Jack, yesterday.
Oh, what, on Michael and Us? What, the one about Monty Python?
Yeah.
Oh, do you like it? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was really good stuff.
You. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Will says, awful news about Jimmy Carter, but hope people come away from this understanding the very real dangers of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Sadly, I can't think of a single wrestler who has died from autoerotic asphyxiation, and I know like 100 wrestlers and their deaths.
I mean,
I love the
details of it.
Erotic, but auto asphyxiation. I suppose you can call Benoit.
I love in the South Park episode where like Kyle and Butters get diagnosed with sex addiction through some contrived set of circumstances, and they at the like sex addiction clinic or whatever, the guy tells them all about these obscene sex acts, including autoerotic asphyxiation. Then, of course, it being South Park, Kenny, and Kenny being the biggest pussy hound in the town of South Park, he immediately goes home and autoerotic asphyxiates himself to death.
Who was it, that famous actor who died? Was it David Carradine?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because Michael Hutchins was a singer, wasn't he? He was from In Excess.
Yeah, Michael Hutchins won, that's in debate, whereas Michael Carradine, no, he was like found he just loved wanking too much. There was also a Conservative MP who's there, I can't remember, but he was like, it wasn't just autoerotic asphyxiation, he had an orange in his mouth and was wearing a pair of tights when he found the body.
Oh my god, that's the full Monty, isn't it? You've got all the boxes ticked there.
He's doing it all, yeah.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. Did you ever see that film with Robin Williams, who did kill himself, but not through a wanking accident?
Are you talking about World's Greatest Dad?
Yeah, where his son wanks himself to death, and his son's like the biggest piece of shit at school, and like Robin Williams.
That's a funny film.
Yeah, he like writes this fake diary that portrays his son as like, you know, the greatest fucking kid who ever lived. But he's just, you know, this horrible wanking fiend whose habit caught up with him.
Yeah, that's such a funny film.